Hello and welcome back to Toy Story 3. This is Bio Enchanted, and today we'll resume Toybox mode. So first of all, we're going to a new area, so let's make the atmosphere a little more appropriate, shall we?
Howdy, partner.
Over at the big dial thingy. So of course, today, we're going to explore Lotso's area, so let's make everything nice in rainbows and a searing shade of orangish pink. Ugliest shade of pink known to man. It's just a terrible filter over everything. It's hideous. It's hurting my eyes looking at it. So luckily we won't be doing this filter much.
But can I talk to you for a moment?
There are much better filters to use than this one in my opinion. I mean, it's kind of pretty, but it's also a little bit kind of overly pastel. Let's unpossess that guy. It's fine, don't care about the outlaws. But then again, they are just there. But annoyingly, the lightning rod doesn't do anything to the bandits. The only thing it does are the balls. Like, nothing else really works on them. It's ridiculous. Let's at least get the red guy back in his cell, shall we? I wonder what name he's going by this time. Ben Pants? Maybe Lance Slackless, I don't know. Yeah, that was weird. Sometimes it just doesn't go through the window. Sometimes it just kind of phases through the entire building. So it's just like, fine, forget him. So let's do a little bit of prep work, shall we? Gonna make a few people zombies for a reason. Partially to show a few of the disguises off. Disguises, I call them that, but you know, a few of the outfits off, rather. But of course, it's important that they all be zombies for this particular set. But it needs to be the right kind of zombie as well. Eventually I settled on the goo zombie because it's kind of cute and now it has a mustache. Your turn. Time to join the ranks of the undead. Skeleton might do for you.
But can I talk to you for a moment?
That's fine, but I want to make you pretty. By pretty, I mean pretty ugly. How about another skeleton, just a little variety, shall we? Yeah, this is me trying to trigger something here. It doesn't take too much longer before I figure out what I'm doing wrong. As you see, the skeletons don't actually count towards what I'm trying to do. That's kind of the annoying thing with some of these gold stars that I'm trying to get. Sometimes it can be a little bit overly finicky. But there we go. As long as we have multiple zombies in our town, enough of them, we get the Junior Reanimator Gold Star. So I'm just going to cut out like 5 minutes of me trying to get the other Reanimator Gold Star because it just wasn't working out. I'll do that later. And now we're actually going into Lotso's area. Which is quite a nice area that goes a lot better with the filter than the actual town does. It's a lot less painful to look at. It's generally fairly pretty. Like little rainbow bridges and everything, and the little, like, I think pollen platforms things are supposed to be. You know, they're very spongy and very soft looking, very nice. And there's very nice water here as well, very pretty. Just this whole area is very nice to look at, really, despite the palette. So let's head across the bridge, shall we? And see what we can find around the tree.
Those pesky little pixies have captured folks and changed them into caterpillars. I'm afraid it's gonna take a magic wand to save them.
So we need to get up to the tree to grab that wand we saw, the strawberry wand. But for now, let's gather some things and just take in the sights, like the giant mushrooms and the different outfits we're grabbing and things. And this pretty neat looking bridge up here. Let's take a look up here, shall we? There's some amusing hats and things. And the bridge itself is fairly nice as well, and the waterfalls in general, and here's the Pixomatic for this area too. Right next to a very suspicious outfit. So let's complete our circuit of the tree, shall we? I quite like the way this area is laid out. It's a very, generally these areas are all very kind of a central location, and then a bunch of like landscape on the outsides, but they manage to not be samey about it. Like some of them have cliffs in some areas, some of them have ledges, some of them don't. Some of them have peaks, some of them have valleys. It varies based on what kind of area they're trying to be. Like, it's not just a palette swap version of Sid's Haunted Houses area, it's got a lot more to it. And climbing the tree is very different to climbing the, because it's a lot more technical than climbing the Haunted House was, where it's just jump off a thing and then do a one climb pretty much and you're there. Here we're coming up to a little bit of an annoying design place though. Because of course, as you saw with the Haunted Mansion, it's got a similar kind of thing here where you grab a thing and then immediately get tossed into the trapdoor. So we're going to have to be very careful up here to avoid this trapdoor and the strawberry wand, first of all, so we can get up this rainbow and actually grab these without having to worry about grabbing them later. So let's finally grab the wand and commence this mission. Jesse, don't jump on the trapdoor, you idiot. Ah, the little woodsman. Little blue woodman. And a bunch of caterpillars. Very pretty ones. But of course, first always look behind. I quite like this level because it's quite satisfying for a reason you'll see in a minute. For now though, let's grab what goodies we can in this area and save our little caterpillar buddies with this very, very short ranged wand. Remember that range, because that has bit me in the butt more than once in this game. I quite like the little effect though, it's a really cute little rainbow thing. And of course that's pretty much a gimme gold star as well, that's just say for you people that be flint bugs, pretty much. But we unlock the cutest dragon in the universe. I like him, he's cute. And has a very satisfying fireball too, as you just saw. Its Spyro levels are satisfying, that's like the super flame power up pretty much. But permanent. And there's like his little walk cycle, and it's just generally he's a cute dragon. I'm calling him he, I'm not entirely certain, it never really elaborates, I don't think. Yeah, some of these touches can be a little tough to light. We don't really need to light them all, but I want to because it's otherwise really dark in this area. I like the music here though. It's very fun kind of adventure music to go through this kind of hollow tree area with a bunch of like pixies to fight, which we'll see in a minute, and torches to light and other things to do other things ending in Ike 2. And there we go. The first time we ever fight these pixies by blowing them up with the dragon. That's fairly satisfying, that. I quite like that, it's fun. And it's such a loud noise as well. It's just such a satisfying sound to get that fireball going. It's so nice. Of course the dragon and bullseye both have stuff to do that we haven't seen yet. We've seen it, but we haven't engaged with it yet. That will be later. That little boing noise it makes when it jumps as well, that's really cute. And there we go, killed enough pixies to get the gold star. And the cool thing with using the dragon is, we're actually doubling up our achievements here as well. You'll see in a minute what I mean by that. I like the dragon's little giggle as well. It's really enjoying this like mindless destruction and blowing everything up. It's having so much fun here. Unless that's a pixie giggling and I'm being an idiot. It's probably the pixie actually, but you know. But it might actually be the dragon, I'm not entirely certain. Kind of hard to tell. I think it actually is the dragon. But here we are at the end of the level. It's a fairly short area this, but there's still quite a bit to do in this little room. Because there's quite a few detours to take on the way out. Of course, there's swinging rainbows are our ultimate goal, but we have a bunch of these little pods to grab in this area too. Let's get on the way around there, shall we? This level definitely feels like a spiral level in the way it's laid out and everything like that. I quite like it for that. We've got a lot of little like ledges to jump to that have secrets on them, that kind of stuff. And a lot of like tricky glides to make if you want to get to them, that kind of thing. It's just generally it's a fun, the dragon's a fun mount. Honestly, more fun than Bullseye. I prefer him. Bullseye is Woody's signature, but the dragon is cuter and more fun to play as. There we are. We've cleared out this level now. And of course, as you can see, the dragon gets her own races. But we'll see those when we see them. Blow up a pixie. Yeah, we're getting both the Pixie Destroyer and Slayer and Pixie Torture achievements for doing those, and that's a very nice way of doubling up on our gold stars.
A little more magical. You know what I mean? Think you could help me out with that?
So now, Lotso needs us to make the town look magical. It's basically the same kind of...
bound to turn our whole town into caterpillars.
Let them. Yeah, this is the same missions as come from the Haunted Mansion with the gargoyles and making the town look scary. Of course, each hub will have these two types of missions. And the latter will, well, and the fighting missions will always respawn. I don't know if the atmosphere of the town set 2 actually alters which ones spawn more often, like making the town look magical in the skybox might make more pixies spawn later on, in which case I'll make good use of that, but again, I'm not entirely certain. Let's get out on one, shall we, and save the town, after allowing enough of it to be damaged. There we are, they're turning people into little pixies, little caterpillars. Let's save a few of them, shall we? And for some reason, well, there's 3 gargoyles, I think. There's only 2. Yeah, the one doesn't do anything to the bandits either. It doesn't give them little wings or anything. It's kind of a shame, really. It's a bit of a mistrick to not be able to do that kind of stuff to the bandits, too. Here I'm just looking for the other pixie and hoping it'll do its thing with the other counter people, but it's not. It's wandering completely away from them, so I'll just kill him. There we are. So we've saved the town, now to make it look magical, shall we?
A moment of your time, Sheriff.
Let's go for some magical costumes. One thing I quite like with Lotso's missions is, as we'll see in a minute, they actually have more character than Rex's. It's not just the generic stuff that Rex had. Lotso actually has a few other things to deal with, so that'll be entertaining to play with as well. Of course, we could do any of the princess stuff, but let's make them all more obviously magical by going for the woodsman outfit. I think we'll go for making the blue is a lot more magical. If I can find the blue dude. And the problem with these kind of listing is often you can kind of get lost in the shuffle and not quite find what you're looking for, but there he is. One of the main criticisms I have with this game is that, with this section of the game anyway, is that finding the right costume can be quite a maze if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. But there we are. Now this blue alien's now a strawberry. I mean a blueberry. Now I've customized them, it's time to paint the tailor and complete our mission. Let's make it Lotso pink, shall we? And very nice and fuzzy pink too. I kind of like that shade of pink, it's better than the skybox one. It's a lot less searing. So, we're actually heading back to Lotso, because we actually have more stuff to do. Unlike Rex, where we've kind of cleared him out for now, Lotso has some more stuff for us to deal with. So let's go see what he needs, shall we?
Begging your pardon, would you... Dear me, A princess has been stranded at the top of Donkey Mountain by some mean old
Rude.
pixies. Can you get her down?
Let's take care of that. And there's also another one as well beyond that one. So let's pick up both our quests and do them in the most efficient way, shall we?
A grizzly old ogre stole a bunch of treasure and ran off into the hills with it. Sheriff, it's your job to get it back.
So let's go to see the ogre, shall we, first of all? Because it's right up here at the hills, or the bridge. This really is going to be called hills, and there's the ogre, a giant alien. I actually almost basically screwed up one of my goes at this game when I first played it, because I didn't understand this mission. I tried to shrink him, and then I tried to get around him, but the problem is, his hitbox isn't a hitbox. It's an invisible wall. So if you don't do what I just did and just solve the puzzle, if you make him smaller, and then hit him with something, it will knock him back. It will knock him back far enough if you give him too much time before figuring it out, that he will end up miles behind his hitbox thing, and the wand won't be able to reach him anymore, rendering the game basically unwinnable. I actually had to reset the Toybox mode to get that completed. So it's a weird thing with this game, where this game doesn't have a new game mode, it has a new Toybox mode. You can't clear the levels on a given save file, you're basically stuck with them being completed. All you can do is clear the Toybox mode and restart that from scratch. So it's like the game really knew where its main selling point was and was like, well, that's the important part, no one really cares about the levels. But it feels like a weird way of implementing it either way. That goes completely in the wrong time, kind of emotional period, but for now, we're going to get up to save the princess, but first, this could actually be used to destroy these as well. Of course, each of the items we get from each of these hub worlds interacts with one of those specialist items, like the Haunted Knights, all get broken by the lightning rod and give you Haunted House customizable parts and stuff, and costumes and things. And the strawberry ones breaks open those rainbow chests we've seen around, which we'll be doing a bit later on, when we come across them. So it gives a good way of avoiding the whole, okay, I'm in this area, and now everything in this area is only this area kind of a thing. It avoids that whole thing. Of course, the specialist chests will never appear in each other's areas, so you'll never see a Lotso chest in the Haunted House, for example. But you will see all three kinds in every kind of Woody's Roundup level. Of which there are, of course, about 5 or 4, depending on how you count the Bandit's Hideout. Because the Bandit's Hideout is kind of a weird one. It's a bit of an aberration when it comes to the... because it doesn't really have a lot of the stuff that a lot of the town's areas have. But yeah, let's get the princess down the mountain. Unfortunately, that wasn't quite enough. We actually need to get her all the way back to Lotso. So let's get her back there, shall we? And yeah, we've not done the Picto Magic one but yet, but we'll do that later. I want to have a good amount of stuff before we do that. So let's get her back to Lotso's tree, shall we? There we are. And right now, Lotso actually has no more missions for us. We have completed all of Lotso's quests, for now. So let's move on, shall we? Goodbye.